largely with debt financing, and nobody was accountable. So it just happened. If I had $1 for every time a general or an admiral or somebody else said, hey, it's going well, we just need more troops, we just need another year, we just need another surge. We did that year after year after year after year. And by the way, we had lots of tactical successes, right? So we should actually look for tactical successes. We won every single battle we ever fought in Iraq and Afghanistan. Every single tactical battle we won. And then we lost the war. So yes, our military is great, capable of doing great things. The question that we have to ask right now, is this what we should be doing? And what is the end game? And how is this in the interests of the American people? How is it going to make their lives better?
How is this illegal war, decided by two war criminals who are trying to escape accountability for their respective crimes, going to help the American people? Hi, my name is Suri Crowe, and you're watching the MeidasTouch Network. Well, at an estimated $890 million a day so far, and that's according to one DC think tank, and that is not counting what we are all paying in increased gas prices, grocery prices, etc. It is careening. And as Mr. White Nationalist, war fighter, war maxer himself says,
Trump said more and larger waves are coming. We are just getting started. We are accelerating.
Oh, yay! More war from the 5-time draft dodger, Mr. Trump, and his merry band of psychopaths who treat sending American troops off to die like a video game. Literally. I caught up with Virginia Democratic Senator Mark Warner while he was in the 757 last weekend. That's what we call the Hampton Roads area, which is home to 18 military installations, including 2 joint bases and all 6 branches of the military service. Senator Warner is a member of the Gang of 8, and he is also co-chair of the Intelligence Committee. Here's what he had to say.
Is this just going to be a war where it's America and Israel? Has he so offended all of our allies in the region or in Europe? I hear some of them are still trying to help. Again, I think they are going to ask the same questions I'm asking. Are we in for a week? Are we in for a month? Are we in for 10 years? What is success here? I don't know. And when I have to face families both here and I'm sure in Virginia Beach and Chesapeake, I'm going to hear this as well. I owe those families an answer, and I don't have an answer right now. The president owes that to all of us.
Senator, you call Israel an ally. However, objectively, Benjamin Netanyahu is a war criminal. He's wanted for war crimes in his own country. He's wanted for war crimes in The Hague. Americans are sending over $8 billion a year with our tax dollars to a country that has free education, universal health care. Over here, Americans are unable to pay rent currently. We've lost our health care under this administration. And now we are paying for a war that has no congressional approval. How can we possibly defend using tax dollars for a country that is also objectively committing genocide? And now here we are engaged in a dual conflict with Israel.
I have huge concerns about the Netanyahu government. Not only how some of the actions in Gaza, but what's happened on the West Bank. And since this is the president's war of choice, he owes us all the explanation of what are our goals? Are they American-based goals, or are they the goals of another nation?
Senator Warner, by the way, is a staunch supporter of Israel, and you can see why right here. According to AIPAC Tracker, he has received over $3 million in pro-Israel donations as of February 2026. His colleague, Democrat Senator Tim Kaine, who sponsored the War Powers resolution that failed in the Senate earlier this week, has called Trump's war in Iran a dumb one, saying, have we learned nothing? Yet, Politico's reporting says that Senators Kaine, Alyssa Slotkin, Gary Peters, and Jack Reed, who are all members of the Senate Armed Services Committee, won't rule out giving Trump more money for this dumb war.
This is a dumb war. I mean, have we really learned nothing?
The White House is reportedly asking for $50 billion, and I have not been able to get a straight answer from Senator Kaine's office on whether he would do this or not. All of a sudden, Senator Kaine has become very squishy about this war. Now, I have lived in this military area for a long time. I am not from here originally. I'm from out west, but I have experienced the military industrial complex up close. I have seen the obscene and insane amounts of money that our elected officials spend in the name of war. And it is shameful, in my opinion, while we have millions of people in America who simply cannot afford the basics, the necessities of living here. Take a listen to this soundbite from economist Jeffrey Sachs.
Admin in charge in the United States have brought us into this. They are systematically destroying our country as they are destroying the Middle East. It's very, very serious. If you ask why do the roads not work and the bridges not work in the United States, why is infrastructure falling to pieces, why are living standards stagnant or declining? It's because we spend trillions of dollars in war. Trump, let me add, is an utter disgrace to our nation. He lied to us every word about America first. His whole premise was we're not going to do this. And he did exactly the opposite of what he said. He did exactly the opposite of what the American people say. Of course, Congress is dead for all intents and purposes. Doesn't matter whether it's Johnson or Schumer, they're useless, these people. They're all in the Zionist lobby payroll. They have squandered our wealth. They have squandered our strength. They have diverted our attention from our elevators and our escalators and our roads and our power grid and all the things that make life viable for us, our housing stock, everything, to divert our trillions of dollars to this madness that is underway right now.
He's 100% right. It is a madness. It is a sickness. And we have been brainwashed into being told that this military industrial complex is what we should be doing in order to be thought of as patriotic, gaslit into being told that we're unpatriotic if we don't support our troops, if we say a word of criticism about the MIC, which has nothing to do with supporting our men and women, many of which are just children, teenagers, when they're being sent off to die for our greedy war machine, and who are being sent off for these greedy millionaires and billionaires who profit off of the American war machine. Go look up Eric Prince. Now, he is just one of many hundreds, thousands of corrupt government contractors who has made billions of dollars off of fat government contracts. His sister, if you'll recall, is Betsy DeVos. She was Trump's first education secretary under Trump 1.0. Mr. Prince has allegedly been involved in arms trafficking violations for Libyan warlords and all kinds of very shady dealings all over the world. It just goes on and on. Eric Prince is a major MAGA boy. So any chances of this farce of an FBI or DOJ under Trump ever investigating Prince for his alleged dirty dealings are null and void. But he and so many others have made billions of dollars off of Pentagon contracts at the expense of the American taxpayers. And we should be furious. I don't think the average American really thinks about what's going on, but it falls on both sides of the fence. It's only the rare birds like AOC or Bernie Sanders, who has been preaching forever that we should not be sending this obscene amount of money to the Pentagon. It is just gross when we have Americans who aren't able to afford the basic necessities of living. And like I said, I've seen it up front. I've seen the corruption and the greed. And I thought this was a really interesting post. The White House posting earlier, I think it was this week, there is nothing more important than peace. Oh yeah, from the so-called peace president. What a flipping joke. And someone by the name of Tiberius, referring back to the Roman Empire, you have now been at war for 232 out of your 249 years of existence. You are the largest arms exporter on earth at 40%. With 800 military bases across 70 plus countries, you are the greatest enemy of peace the world has ever known. That is bang on. America is an imperialist country especially under the Trump regime, where he's just, expanding and trying to take over nations all over the world. Anytime we have gone in and started a war, and I'm not talking about defending, like in the case of World War II, or where if we're going to be spending any military funds, it should be in defending Ukraine right now. But when we go into these forever wars in Iraq, in Afghanistan, in Vietnam, and right now in Iran or Venezuela, or all the places that we go, it always turns to shit. We don't liberate or save anyone. We have no business being in other people's government or exacting regime change. Please. The wealth inequality in America is truly sickening. And it's why we need to clean out Congress, which is what I've been really pushing over on my Substack. And on both sides, you see the millions and millions of dollars that AIPAC, which is directly tied to Netanyahu's extraordinarily corrupt regime, funding not only obviously the MAGA fascists, but also people on the Democrat side. And I've been extremely critical of Chuck Schumer, of Hakeem Jeffries, my own senators, and a lot of other people as well. And we all need to be cutting ties with AIPAC and big lobbyists who are calling the shots. Because what ends up happening is our elected officials do not listen to we the people. They refuse to abolish ICE. They continue to propagate this Israel war machine, and we all end up suffering. All right, that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for watching. Please follow my socials below. Please subscribe to my Substack, and please sub to my brand new YouTube channel that I just started. Remember, in times like these, courage is contagious, and let's remain especially fierce.
The truth is more important than ever. Check out our new Truth Over Lies collection at store.MeidasTouch.com. All 100% USA union made.